So I finally got a chance to check out Snow White, the latest in the Disney live action remakes. And I don't plan on spending a whole lot of time just really talking through this, but it's a movie that happened. Is it as terrible as I anticipated it would be? No. Actually, it's a lot better than I was going to give it credit for. I was looking forward to really reviewing this film and absolutely hating it and just coming on and having an absolute roast session, similar to the one I had when it came to the Good Times reboot on Netflix. But that's not what I got. That's not what we're going to get into. It's actually a competently made film. Not that it's the best, but like it's just okay. Really, that's the main thing that I take away from this film. Rachel Zegler, honestly, you can say whatever you want about her politics, about the way she carries on like a walking algorithm at times. And I'm not one to get into politics, so all the speech about the woke shit and all that kind of stuff she has going on, I'm not even going to get into that. I just think she's a kid who really forsook the is that a word? Forsook? Anyway, decided to forsake the business side of promoting a movie in favor of what she believes in and her politics, which, traditionally that's a great thing. But in her case, it wasn't so great. And some of the things she said, she could have had a little bit more take with it. But again, neither here nor there. The film itself and her performance in it, she's great. Like she's a great Snow White. She's honestly the best part of this film. Um, Besides the dwarves, which that surprised me also. But she's a great singer. Like she holds her own in that realm. I'm unfamiliar with her work up until this point. As to my understanding, she was in West Side Story, and that was kind of her breakout. So maybe I'll check that out. But in this film, she does a great job just encompassing who Snow White is, like the quote unquote fairest of them all, which that's a point I'm about to get into in just a moment. But yeah, she has some memorable tunes and memorable notes that she hits here. And like her story, she carries her side of the story. Prince Charming isn't actually a prince, which I believe that that's a bit of like a girl empowerment or woman empowerment move right there to kind of just take some power away from the men in this story, which that's whatever. Gal Gadot or Gadot, however you choose to say it. I think respectfully it's Gadot though. I'll tell you this. The look of the evil queen, she got that all day in spades. Gal Gadot looks excellent in this film, per the usual. The costume design for her is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Like she was walking around, and not to be disrespectful, but when we're talking about like bad bitch energy, she had bad bitch energy in spades. Like she had the look, the persona, all of it. She had that swagger, all that kind of stuff. The acting is Gal Gadot. You don't cast her for her acting chops or lack thereof. It's the look that you're going for. She delivers on the look. Her singing, they did the same thing they did with Chiwetel Ejiofor in the Lion King remake, where they kind of had him talk through the song instead of sing it. She does that here, and she has a big musical number, which that was a brave thing to do. And there is a little bit of auto tune that you can hear. Now that I'm thinking about it in retrospect, that you can hear when she's singing. But overall, she did okay. Like I said, she had the energy that you would think she would bring. The funniest part about all of this is she's supposed to be, in terms of looks, intimidated by Snow White, who's essentially like this little girl or whatever. And I'm like, I, no, and that's not to disparage Rachel Zegler's looks or anything like that. Um, it's just one of those things. Like, are you serious? But anyways, not even going to get into all of that. Um, the dwarves. even after the debacle of Peter Dinklage essentially sticking his nose somewhere where it didn't actually belong and actually costing people some jobs, went against the human casting of the dwarves, and we got these CGI machinations instead. They're actually kind of charming and endearing and funny in a lot of ways. Um, they were the best part of this film outside of Rachel Zegler's performance as Snow White. I enjoyed seeing them on screen, which is another thing that surprised me. But overall, the film starts off strong. I'll say that. But after a while, it does overstay its welcome. The new elements that they added from the Snow White lore or whatever, they don't quite they don't quite land. And in the end, we see where they clearly wanted to make like this political statement about who's the fairest of them all. And they have um the evil queen and Snow White engage in like a town hall debate, politics style. And the evil queen is clearly supposed to be Trump. So there's that. I really don't go to movies to see that, especially like a fairy tale movie or anything like that. So it was one of those movies or moments rather that kind of had my eyes, rolling. Um, and there are other movies where I'm fine with that in, Civil War, for example. But it's like a time and place thing. And then again, you overstayed your welcome in order to get this part of the story out. Overall, I guess that gets me to my verdict in that case. Overall, it's a movie that happened, honestly. I'm not moved either way by it. Like, I think being indifferent is one of the worst things you can feel about a form of media. And I feel like that about Snow White. Like some of the songs stuck the landing. Like would I listen to some of this stuff again? Maybe so. But overall, I wasn't all that impressed with it. But it is better than I expected it to be. So for me, it's an unapologetically all right film. It's just a 3 out of 5. Far better than what I expected, but not all that great. And yeah, that's it. So that's my review for Snow White. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Continue to like, share, subscribe. And with that being said, we'll move on to the next.
U-GeekTV.